DNA, the world's most, or I would say the United States' most viewed battle rapper ever. What's the vibes, man? How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good, man. Trying to drawing the pain away, but we here, man. We here.
How you feeling? How you feeling about your Knicks?
I mean, I think it was a great season. We definitely got further than I actually, what I mean, would have projected at the beginning of the season. But to be that close and like honestly, in my opinion, feel like we could have went. That's what makes it like a bittersweet ending. Cause you look at game one, like let's just say we don't. Let's just say every other game went like it went. For sure, we know we would have had game one, which means we would have had game seven. So, you know, that's what makes the season like because I feel like we could have. I don't know if we could have won the championship, but the first step was getting there. Like you know what I mean. So I feel like we could have got there.
You know, you're the perfect person to ask this because when I see Tyrese pull up in his funeral fit, I mean, that's psychological warfare. And it's kind of crazy because if you pull up with that fit and you lose, you look crazy. So that's a different kind of confidence right there. How'd you feel about it?
I mean, I feel like he's a troll. So you know what I mean. Whatever he does, like you know what I mean. From game one when he was doing the choke and all that, and then come to find out his foot was behind the line, so they did win the game, but they didn't win off of that. He trolls. He's good. He's good for TV. Like he knows what he's doing, man. Like but I tell you one thing, he definitely looked crazy when they gave the MVP to Pascal Siakam, and he was standing there like it was about to be him.
I know, but I kind of saw the stuff on social media, but I didn't really dig into it. How far did he step up? Like, did he like go all the way up, or it was just like a quick step?
Yeah, so right now they got a lot of AI stuff. They had the joint where Michael Jordan was supposed to be talking to Anthony Edwards, so I thought it was that at first. But then I seen it on the official sports Instagram, and they was like an MVP of this year's Eastern Conference Finals, and you see him smiling, and he starts like stepping up, like waiting for it, and they like Pascal Siakam, and then you see his face, and he goes to the back, so he looked crazy.
New York, I mean, this is a New York team, and I feel like when we think about New York basketball, me growing up, it's about trash talk. It's about that kind of energy. Obviously, when you battle rap, you trash talk in between the lines. I feel like the Knicks don't give enough of that energy. Like, Brunson's a quiet guy. Cat is, everybody knows how Cat is. How do you feel like when you don't see a New York team talking back and just let Tyrese talking crazy all the time?
Um, I mean that like that would be the statement of saying like they need another they need more components to the team. They need like a couple more people off the bench. The closest person they got to that is like Josh Hart, but a lot of times
Campaign a little bit, but he doesn't make enough impact on the court to like get enough attention
he
for it.
does. He just didn't show up in the series with Indiana. Usually he's literally the heart of the team, but he had a slow series. But yeah, most New York teams that was dominant. You had that trash talk, and especially the '99 team with Spreewell and Larry Johnson, Marcus Camby, Allen Houston, Pat Ewing. But um, I kind of like it and I don't. Like I think we'll add that, but I don't think that's like one of the main problems. I also feel like we got this far because we do got a lot of disciplined guys. Like the guys you see, trash talking coincides with like lifestyle. Like you can tell they don't really party, they not really drinking, they not clubbing, which means they focused on the game. So that part of it I like. But yeah, I think eventually we gonna get somebody that embodies that New York world.
Yeah, definitely the kind of vibe you're talking about is more the Knicks tape era.
Mm-hmm.
That was different. That was more like New York.
Yeah, J.R. Smith, all of them, Raymond Felton. Yeah, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
How would you grade this season, this Knicks season, if you had to give it a letter grade?
A minus.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean we almost was A plus. So we would have got to the finals. Um,
Well, A plus got to be a chip, right?
nah. I mean it could
Okay.
be certain teams, but for our team it would have been A plus. I would have gave us an A, but the A minus comes from, what I mean, being right there and basically playing with your food. You giving up game one. You know what I mean? Sloppy turnovers, not playing defensive. Like, it's one thing if your team can't compete, right? We just didn't have a team to compete. then it would be an A. Like, wow, look, we did this. But when you match us up, you see, all right, we do a couple like, and it's the thing. Sometimes it's invisible mistakes that you know what I mean are not going to even be obvious to somebody like me or yourself. But if you really look at this offseason, they had so many mistakes that you don't got to be a head coach. You don't got to be 12 years in the league playing to see like, all right, you know, as long as you know basketball, why y'all doing this? So that's why it's an A minus for me.
What are some of the biggest invisible mistakes?
No, they're visible. I'm saying.
Okay. What? Oh yeah. What are some of the most visible mistakes for you?
Well, the most visible mistakes is up into game 3. You know what I mean? Thibodeau didn't play the bench. You in a playoffs where you got to win 16 games to get the chip, and you keep rotating the same 7 guys. They're gonna get burned out. None of them are like superhuman. So the bench wasn't played like that. Number 2, starting adjustments. You didn't, like I said, up into game 3, you didn't get Mitchell Robinson in the lineup. And then the next game in game 4, Mitchell Robinson only played 2 minutes in the fourth quarter. Defense, the Knicks defense was terrible. Nobody was switching off, guarding the corner. Somebody was always in the corner, open for 3. So you know what I mean. Those is like the visual. Oh, and the last thing is not reading the room. Like we talking about battle rap. When I go against somebody, my game plan switches depending on who I'm battling. Like I feel like the games that the Knicks were successful, they got physical with the paces and they stopped chasing the 3 and went for the 2. So basically slow the pace of the game down. A lot of 3 out of 4 of those games that we lost, we were playing the pace and style of basketball. Fast break, running up and down. A lot of people were, you know what I mean, not like Tim Duncan because he didn't have a lot of highlights, but he understood the assignment. Slow the basketball game down. I'm not playing your game. You're going to play my game. And the Knicks didn't do that. If they would have got physical out the gate, went for the 2 instead of the 3, made their free throws, we'll be looking at a different series. Because when they did that, they won.
You mentioned the defense, and Tibbs is to be known a defensive-minded coach. Is there a chance that this duo, when I'm talking about Brunson and Cat, just aren't good enough defensively to build with to win a championship?
I mean, I think defense is something that you can acquire and obtain. I think Cat got to get a little faster. He got to drop some weight. He got a strength condition in the off season. Nah, real shit. And then, you know, they just got to study film tape. What people don't understand is that last year we had Harvenstein, even Chenzo. So the whole roster is we have this is a year 1 going to the conference finals, 2 games away. They still got time to, you know, create. But you know we in the do or die season. That's just like the Heat. You know, even with LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, they didn't win the first year because they had to get that chemistry. So this is our first year playing together. I think by next year, what you've seen a couple times with Brunson and Cat, but more so with Brunson and Mitchell Robinson, hopefully we can get a lot more of those, like Lob City. When Brunson was doing that, it looked efficient, but they both was that's another thing too. Play more cohesive as a team. They both was more dominant. And you've seen it a lot in the postseason when the other one wasn't on the floor. When Cat had his unit and Brunson had his unit, you seen more of a success rate from both of them than when they was on the actual floor together.
You think about the prior champions, like they had great duos. I'm talking about Jamal Murray and Jokic, you know, the 2 J's. Do you think that they need to play off of each other more? Because it feels like they're their own separate player and you don't think about them together. You think about them as separate entities when we're talking about Cat and Brunson.
Yeah, they definitely got to play more together. They gotta figure it out. I think the problem here was they were trying to figure it out. And one thing I'll say, I don't think it has to do with somebody being the heart of you know, like embodying the yelling and the screaming and the trash talking, but they didn't feel like one. Like even when I'm watching, you know, the pregame and they coming out the locker room, they all look like they in their own world. Brunson don't want to smile. They just bumping him, joking with him. He not I mean, like he's on his own time. Cat is walking by himself. That's the thing. Indiana, every time you see him, you feel like one. You know what I mean? Even that joint when Damian Lillard was on Halliburton's helmet in the first round, you see Siakam Like, you know what I mean? Get behind Holland, like, what's up?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they won. Like the Knicks, they on the same team, but I don't think they won.
You even see it with OKC. One guy's doing an interview, they're all right behind him.
Yeah, yeah, they won. You could tell that that's on and off the court. They talking on and off the court. They hanging out. Now you see that with Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart, but you need that with at least 7, 8 guys.
Yeah. You talked about the Heat a little bit earlier with the big three, and that definitely worked, but name chasing hasn't worked lately. Do you think it's in the Knicks' best interest to go after a guy like Giannis, after a guy like KD, or do you want to see this duo stick together when we're talking about Brunson and Cat?
Me personally, I've been a solid Knicks fan for so many years because at one point you look crazy even saying anything with just not even that we was losing, it's just the dumb decisions and how the organization was being ran. So I think the organization has always been ran on that, chase the name, and New York high celebrity and dumb mistakes will occur because you're chasing to fill up them seats when they're going to get filled regardless. It's New York. You know what I mean? You'll never find a time in the year where you could just walk in the garden and sit on the floor for under $3,000. So that's a testament to New York City. I don't think we got to chase a superstar because, one, it's the Mecca, and two, we got a great team right now. I think trying to get Giannis, we lose too many pieces that we already got that's pivotal. Right now, we need to work on a bench. Like, so, and then KD, that's my guy. But, he's close. That's another thing the Knicks used to do. At the end of somebody's career, you'll trade a bunch of people that can be around for a long time just to say, we got the name. Like, how many years? Like, what are we getting Kevin Durant for the vet minimum? Are we giving Kevin Durant?
No. I'll give you a scenario. Kevin Durant for Mikal and Cat.
No. Nah, Cat got more years. Cat and Mikal got more years than Durant. He's still a name, but...
Yo, the crazy thing, though, KD's a better defender right now than Cat.
He is, but can we... If we get rid... If we keep our team right now...
And one of the greatest scorers ever, as you know, right?
Yeah, if we keep our team right now and get KD, I'm with it. Because I think we can get a chip. If we lose any piece and get KD, I still don't think we're getting a chip.
Yeah, I don't think the Suns are doing that. I don't think.
And with Giannis, we might have to give up 4 players. Now we just got Giannis and Brunson, and we keeping Josh Hart, but we still have no bench. So I don't. None of these trades to me seem to solve the problem that we have. The problem is depth.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, I think the Knicks have made good incremental moves over the course of time. I mean, you mentioned the bench, but what specifically in terms of needs do you feel like the Knicks need?
We need a pivotal scorer, or we need a second unit that can run like our first unit. With not guys that's putting up 30 per se, but we need everybody on that. Like I would say, the Pacers don't have one. They don't have a Jalen Brunson. They don't have a Cat, but they got 8 guys that can. You know what I mean?
I actually think Tyrese is better than Jalen.
Jalen Brunson?
Yeah.
Nah.
He makes everybody around him better. That effect means so much, as you could see. That effect, man.
I would give you that, but he's so inconsistent for me. You'll get a 30 game from Haliburton, and then you'll get 2 points.
You're right in terms of an individual, but he knows what the team needs at the right times. That's so important, you know?
Yeah, but well, for me, watching it, and maybe I'm going to tune into him a lot more next season, but just from seeing him in the playoffs, it's like they lose when he's not efficient. I feel like, put it like this, if Cat had Giannis, he wouldn't have to do what he's doing right now with, you know what I mean, taking all the heat on himself. It's like, he got to do that. Like, we didn't see Cat get into that bag that he got into the playoffs. Like, driving. He's standing there shooting the 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, even if I love Jalen Brunson, one of the greatest clutch scorers I ever saw in my life. But what if you put like Cat next to a Cade or a Tyrese Haliburton, somebody of like the Jason Kidd type mold? I mean, Cat would look a lot better. Even like him with Minnesota, he was playing with Anthony Edwards. We never seen him with an elite point guard, from what I remember. You know?
Yeah. I mean, nah. I just think if we matching up, Jalen Brunson is more consistent. And this the thing. Jalen Brunson don't got the same. Let's be honest. Roster-wise, Jalen Brunson don't got the same pieces as the Pacers.
What?
I'm talking about as a whole team.
Look, I mean, OG, Mikal, Cat. I mean, that's a better top 4 than the Pacers have.
Yeah, top 4. But I'm saying.
Yeah.
They got a whole
Depth.
You know what I mean? Yeah, depth. You give them. I just feel like if you give them a whole team with a full roster, you'll see the game switch around.
Is it fair to say that Tibbs needs to create depth by giving the bench more playing time over the course of time so they're ready in the playoffs, you know?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I do feel like what also got exposed this season is that they don't have no plays, and I think that comes to the coach.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I don't really think that's on Jalen Brunson. I think that's Tibbs saying, "Yo, I know you can give me 30. You go out there and figure it out." And however you get to that 30, get to that 30 instead of saying, "We're gonna run this. This part we're gonna run the ball through OG. This part we're gonna you've seen in Game 6, even though it was a loss. I just think it was too late to try that. But when they was trying running up the ball with Mikal Bridges, we haven't seen that at all. It's just every time Jalen Brunson gets the ball, they press him. Neesmith is on him. Now he's struggling. 5 seconds left at the shot clock. He's taking a shot. I think
Yeah.
that's there's no playbook. You know what I mean? Something got to be drawn up. How you run? You know, like even when they used to have Phil Jackson with the triangle offense. Like, what's the Knicks? What is our go-to? It can't be just give Jalen Brunson the ball and hope he makes it. That got us to the conference finals. But that's what I think is on a coach. Like, you know,
The offense is too predictable, you're saying, basically.
And think about this. No knock to Haliburton. He's a great player in Siakam, but look who's behind that. Rick Carlisle, bro.
Yeah.
Even in Game 6, when the game is tied, or no, they up by 4 at halftime. Whatever he told them, they came out the gate. We didn't even wait 5 or 6 minutes, and they were 180 from what you've seen in the first half. That's coaching.
Yeah. Do you feel that Tibbs is the right coach to move on with?
Yes and no. I would say yes because it's an emotional attachment with Rick and Jalen Brunson because they love him and you don't want to make a player unhappy. But if you ask me,
But the cat Tibbs dynamic, that's strange though. That's
I don't like it. Even Josh Hart was complaining to him about the minutes. If there was one change I would make, it would be that Mike Malone.
New York City, stand up.
I would do that right in the off. That would be my change. Forget about it. I would look for pivotal pieces to add to the bench, add depth, and I would get Mike Malone.
You see how Mike Malone said, "Yeah, that's why SJ is the MVP." That was hilarious. They ESPN set him up. ESPN set him up. I want to talk a little bit about you. Most viewed battler ever. You told Ill Will you were different after you told Smack to get out of here. What makes you different? When did you realize you were different?
Right now, I think I'm like third most viewed because I stopped for like 2 years. So
Okay.
Arsenal and Clips passed me, but I'm still in the top 3.
Okay.
Now, I feel like to answer your first part, I feel like what makes me different is just my approach. Like I'm like DNA. Like when you dealing with DNA, you got to be in the lab. You got to study DNA. You got to test DNA. You got to find different mutations in DNA. It's different variations. So all that really means is that it's real scientifical when I'm in the ring. My approach is different. Like I said, kind of like a chameleon. Like I could adapt to any situation, any room. That's why they can see me rhyming with Power or rhyming in front of the Garden with the Knicks or ESPN or BT, and then I could go, in URL and do the same thing about just reading the room. So that's my biggest attribute, understanding the assignment. That's what makes me different. When I found out I was different, I would say my battle with Disaster, 2011.
That was on KOTD, right? Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to King of the Dot. That's when I battled Disaster. Drake hosted it, and you know what I mean? That whole scenario was just like the odds were stacked against me because Drake was homeboys with Disaster. He really pulled up for Disaster, and you know what I mean? Me and Disaster had like a long going rivalry. So that right there, when I was able to, because I never had battled on King of the Dot, and Disaster was a regular. So when I was able to overcome that and possibly put on one of the greatest battles in battle rap history, that's when I was like, yeah, I'm different.
I guess because you say you're a chameleon, which you are a chameleon, made it easier for you to adapt to KOTD, maybe better than some of the other URL rappers, right?
Correct. I mean, because I originally came from Grind Time, which is kind of like in comparison, kind of have the same, style of rap and format over there. So my adjustment wasn't as difficult as others.
Who's the greatest URL battler ever?
The greatest URL battler ever. excluding me.
That's the question.
I mean, I would say me. I wouldn't say me just to toot my own horn, but like if we talking about greatest, we talking about people that's done so much in and outside the ring. Like I probably lost. I got 200 battles. I lost under 12 of them. You can't find me with. You can't even give me 10 definitive losses. The body of work, you know what I mean? The moments that I created, the sponsorships I brought the leagues to push the culture forward. Giving back by battling a new talent of battle rappers because a lot of people would get on their high horse.
Well, also some of them don't want to duck. Some of them just duck smoke because they don't want to lose to somebody new. Yeah,
And then
yeah.
outside the ring, like, come on, I done took the shit to heights that different heights. Like, you know, some people they did one thing after battle rap. Me, I'm just like everything, anything that's out there, I've done it. ESPN, BET, Lifetime, Power, Stars. You know what I mean? Songs on movie shows, TV shows, acting, you name it, I did it. WWE, so it's like, yeah, I would say myself. Now, if I'm excluding me out of it, greatest URL battle rapper ever, I'll probably go with Tay-Rock.
I actually think Clips is better than Tay-Rock. Just Tay-Rock's more prepared.
I think, yo, listen, if we talking about 100, who shows up 100% of the time? If Clips showed up 100% of the time, I would have him over me. But,
Yeah.
you know,
I asked Cortez this. Who's your Mount Rushmore of battle rap then?
my Mount Rushmore. I'm gonna go with Mook. I'm gonna go with Lux. I'm gonna go with Hollow. And I'm gonna go with Clips.
All right. Whether you battled this person or you haven't, who do you feel like would be your toughest battle moving forward? Anybody in the world?
Toughest battles moving forward, I would say Mook, Lux, or Iron Solomon.
And how many of those guys have you battled?
0.
Wow. So there's
And that's another thing to my accolades too. Is not too many people that got a household name and they don't got Mook, Lux on their, or Hitman, or Clips, or Iron Solomon on their resume.
Yeah, you battled a lot of people. That's why I'm even surprised that you haven't battled those guys because I felt like from that era, I felt like there was no URL matchups even left. It feels like that sometimes.
Yeah. No, it definitely does. But yeah, I still got those available.
NWX is obviously a playoff NWO. Is it fair to say that the NWO Monday Night Wars era is the golden era of wrestling?
Yeah, that's not even a question. You got to think so much was created then. NWO, D-Generation X, Stone Cold, The Rock, Triple H. You know what I mean? Shawn Michaels was popping before that, but DX pivotal role in there. Undertaker is just a Mankind. It was a crazy time.
All right, as I said, the Knicks didn't have enough smoke for Halliburton. So, do you have 8 bars for Halliburton right now?
Nah, I don't got I emptied the clip at the Garden. Game 7 would have been tonight. If we would have got that game, I probably would have pulled back up with some more. But yeah.
I saw it was at the Hoop Bus. I saw you spit a bar. You were actually in the building for Game 6, right? Oh, Game 5. They needed you in Indianapolis, bro. They needed you.
Yeah, I know, man. I know. Yo, what's so crazy is that I didn't want to say it because obviously you want to be optimistic, but the energy was just telling me we was gonna lose in 6. But when I was at Game 5, I felt like it was no way we could lose. Like that's why I felt like everything was just clicking. Cause that Hoop Bus stuff that wasn't planned. Like shout out to my guy Mr. Throwback. You know what I mean? I've been cool with him for like over a decade now. I popped up at his store because I needed something to wear to the game, and he gave me the I switched it for the Bodega Cat shirt because I got that from the Hoop Bus, but originally I had the 1999 Pacers and Knicks T-shirt that I got from him, and he was like, "Yo, I'm about to go around the city with the Hoop Bus." So I'm like, "Word." So when they pulled up, they always showing me love, like saying that they watched the battles and all that. So then I was just talking to the owner about what it was, and I loved what I was hearing when he was saying it was a non-profit organization. They go around to different schools. So I was like, "Yo, what y'all doing?" He's like, "We're going to the Garden." And then Mr. Throwback was like, "You want to do something?" I'm like, "Yeah." And literally, just so people know, this is how much Mr. Throwback was like, "Yo, DNA." I tell you, like, cause I be taking rapping serious, so all of that was an organic freestyle.
I think that's evident that you take rapping
No,
serious,
no.
DNA.
What I mean by that is some people be watching and be like, "Oh, they got the jerseys." He did it. Like you could literally ask. Shout out to my guy Jay Garcia. I told Mr. Throwback and him, "Yo, just get whatever Nick jerseys you got. I'm gonna be outside." I didn't want to see none of them because I didn't want to have time to think of a bar. So he went in there. He put like 10 jerseys in his bag, and then when we got to the Garden, he took them out right when it was showtime.
What's next for DNA, man? What you got coming up?
So right now, on this last season of Raising Kanan that just came out, I had another acting appearance on there. I shout out the Partisan Fontaine. He said it,
Yeah.
so now I can say
Former Hooper, actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
So on the Raising Kanan soundtrack, there's 10 songs on there. I wrote 9 of them. So,
Wow. Congrats, man. Awesome.
I wrote 7 records for Partisan Fontaine on the last season of Raising Kanan. I wrote and then the episode that I acted in, I wrote that record too. So I just been doing that with sync licensing. I got my songs on a bunch of shows. Right now we doing a bunch of stuff with the WWE. I be streaming on TikTok and lately I've been getting calls about battling. So it's about to be 2 years. So I might do one more. We just gotta see how it all makes sense. So
Do you still get that same feeling when you battle now than when? Well, I guess it's been 2 years. When you battle in this era, than maybe say like the early 2010s. Like you still.
Nah. The feeling definitely wasn't the same. That's part of the reason why I stepped away. Cause like for me, I like you know what I mean. I just feel like when you a hustler, the money will come. Like you'll find, you know what I mean, something. You're a hustler. So I really don't try to stay in stuff if I'm not. You know what I mean?
Like I know what you're saying because I do a lot of shows and I played basketball for a bunch of years. But you can feel when it's kind of like time to move on or time to do something else. It's not even anybody tells you. It's like a feeling you have inside. Even if other people like it, it's like it's in you. You know.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I felt. And then when my mom passed away, cause like.
Sorry to hear that. Condolences.
Nah, thank you. So it's like, I've been feeling like that. But I love battle rap so much, my foot just wasn't getting out the door. And when my mom passed away, I was just I didn't want to battle because I wasn't in the right headspace. I felt like if anybody even would have remotely said anything about that situation, I'd have lost my cool. So I was like, nah, I need to step away. And then that's when I got into streaming on TikTok, and that started taking off for me because I was devoting more time to it. And then so many other doors started opening. And then that's when I started working with my guy Trick Williams, coming out to the WWE, doing all that. And then that's right when I was on set for Power and writing all those songs. So everything just kind of gave me the like, yep, this is what you need to do. So I just went with it. And then I haven't had like, you know what I mean? And I feel like I've became so much more, like I was already a legend in battle rap, but I feel like I stamped a bunch of stuff I needed to do outside of it. Like I became so much more visible from not battle rapping because I was, when I got that push, well, I don't want to be the guy that, damn, we haven't heard of this guy since he battled. So it was a thing for me, like, I got to figure out what's the next chapter of staying relevant, which I feel like, you know what I mean, I've done a great job at doing that since I stepped away.
Do you think anything should be off limits when it comes to a battle?
Yeah, for me, personally, I can't tell nobody else what to do, but for me, I don't talk about kids or the dead. That's off limits to me. Anything that got to do with you, yeah, I'm going to say it. But, anybody that passed away or your kids, they really innocent bystanders. The dead can't defend themselves. A kid can't defend themselves. So for me, I don't never touch on that.
All right, before we get out of here, will the Knicks win the championship next year? Are we going to go even further? What do you think, DNA?
I don't know right now.
we got to have you back on. We'll do it in person next time. We'll do it in studio.
Yeah, let's do it in person. We gotta see what happens in the off season, man. Hopefully we make the right moves. I wanna see us get there next year.
DNA, thanks for taking the time. I want to say, like, when I was playing overseas, I used to watch a lot of battle rap because I had a lot of idle time. So I always appreciated your work, and I really appreciate you taking the time. And you're always welcome back. Thank you and appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Yes, sir. Talk soon. Later, bro.